Welcome back to the Sports News Analysis YouTube channel, where I'm continuing my college bowl previews and predictions. I'm previewing all 35 bowl games right here on my YouTube channel, so be sure to subscribe to my page here, and I'll get all of my sports talk videos delivered directly to your inbox. Up next is the Sun Bowl, which pits USC versus Georgia Tech. USC comes in with a record of 7-5, while Georgia Tech, after losing the ACC championship game, comes in with a record of 6-7. A season of missed expectations, I think, for both of these teams. Southern Cal was actually the preseason number one, if you remember, and sort of faltered once they got into the Pac-12 schedule here and fell to 7-5. They'll be without Matt Barkley in this game due to that shoulder injury that he suffered, which led to him missing the Notre Dame game. He'll also miss the Sun Bowl here. Matt Barkley had a very good career at USC. I wouldn't say it was great. I would say it's very good. He definitely has a pro career ahead of him. So, I agree with the decision to hold him out of this game. I think that's actually a good job by Lane Kiffin, not forcing him into this game, because I think they both know there's bigger fish to fry with getting ready for the combine, getting ready for his pro day. So Max Whittick will get the start. I think Whittick's a guy that actually looked pretty good against Notre Dame, given the situation he was sort of thrust into. You can definitely see the big arm this kid has, and I look for the sort of the trio of Max Whittick, Marquise Lee, and Robert Woods to have a big impact on this game. And you throw in a little bit of Silas Redd, and I think they'll be able to really gouge this Georgia Tech defense, which has been porous this year in the ACC, which I think is a notch below the Pac-12. And I think with USC, the only question for me is, are they going to be motivated to play this game? And I think with the new quarterback, Whittick was pumped up to prepare for this game. I think you'll get a great effort out of the receivers and Silas Redd. And the defense for USC, look, they haven't been great this year, and they've lacked the physicality in a lot of spots. Most notably, I think you saw it against Notre Dame. They've had close to a month to prepare for this unique offense that Georgia Tech runs. Georgia Tech has run the ball the most times in the country since 2008. They average over 300 yards a game on the ground. I think if Monty Kiffin's defense has not been, I don't think, what people expected it to be since he's been at Southern Cal. They thought, well, Monty Kiffin, given all this talent in Southern California, he'll be able to dial up a great defense. That hasn't really been the case. I think blame goes on both the players and Monty Kiffin. I think based on Monty Kiffin's reputation, I think a little more of the blame has to go on the players. But a month to prepare for a one-dimensional offense, I have to believe that Monty Kiffin has these guys ready to go. Georgia Tech as a whole has lost its last 7 bowl games, which obviously you can't just overlook that. They've lost 7 bowl games. They did make it to the ACC championship game. The ACC was very down this year. Florida State obviously ended up beating Georgia Tech in that game. And I think from a talent standpoint and from an athleticism standpoint, Southern Cal is probably a notch below Florida State. They're not as good as Florida State is on defense, but I think certainly on offense, they're as explosive. And I just look at how outmatched Georgia Tech was in that game against Florida State, and it was a real eyebrow raiser for me personally. And I think Southern Cal comes out motivated. So I think Lane Kiffin has his guys ready to play. Obviously, you can never predict that in these games. They're going to be in El Paso in the Sun Bowl, sort of a remote location. Did the USC players embrace this? Did they have a bad attitude about playing in the Sun Bowl? We'll never know. But Max Whittick with something to prove. Those receivers, Silas Redd running the ball against a Georgia Tech defense that is subpar. I like USC minus 7.5 in the Sun Bowl, and I like them pretty big here over Georgia Tech in this game. So again, USC minus 7.5 in the Sun Bowl. Be sure to check out my other previews here on my YouTube channel. Subscribe to my page. Get all of my sports talk videos delivered directly to your inbox, and also catch me on Twitter at SNewsAnalysis. Thanks, guys.